Coming up on today's edition of the Bulls Report, we're going to be discussing the hype around Javon Freeman-Liberty as he has been dominating the Bulls Summer League so far through the first 3 games. So we'll be diving into him and discussing if he actually has a chance to make the Bulls roster in this upcoming year. And then we're talking about the Zach LaVine trade rumors. They seem to never die, and Bleacher Report suggested a Zach LaVine to the Miami Heat trade. I'll be diving into the trade details and giving my full reaction at the later half of today's video. But if you guys want more Bulls content, hit me up on Twitter and give me a follow. I'm trying to hit 600 followers on Twitter. So if you guys are a diehard Bulls fan and just want more Bulls content on your Twitter feed, I want to be your go-to guy. We are only 71 subs or Twitter followers away from 600. So give me a follow on Twitter. I'll make sure that link is in the comment section and the description on today's show. Well, let's talk about it. Javon Freeman-Liberty. Could he be potentially making the Bulls Summer League game or make the Bulls roster in this upcoming season? He has been dominating the Summer League period for the Chicago Bulls. In 3 games for the Bulls, he has been by far the Bulls' best player throughout this run. Averaging over 20 a game with really solid efficiency is what makes him stand out to me on the basketball court. He is a veteran when he is out there playing the game. You know, coming off pick and roll, he's been able to get to that little pull-up midi when the other teams are dropping or running drop coverage on him, and the stats don't lie with him. I mean, anytime you can roll out there, average 20-plus on 50-plus% from the deck, and then 46.7% from 3. That's incredible efficiency from him. And he is 23 years old, so he is kind of the veteran of this Bulls Summer League roster, and he is playing like it. But I do think he has a chance to make this team, and for one reason. The Bulls have a need at that guard position. You know, we love Jevon Carter, the signing that we brought in from the Milwaukee Bucks. He's a Chicago kid. I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the Bulls roster. But besides that, at that point guard position for the Bulls, I mean, it's Ayo DeSumo. Maybe you could run like a Alex Caruso at point guard or maybe even a Kobe White. But besides that, Javon Freeman-Liberty has an outside chance here to not only make the team, but potentially be in the rotation for some games this year. And my take on the Javon Freeman-Liberty kind of saga right now is if the Bulls weren't going to retain Ayo DeSumo, he is a restricted free agent, and there really has been no updates on him returning to the Bulls. I think Javon Freeman-Liberty could be a great Ayo DeSumo replacement. In terms of just overall play styles, I think they're fairly similar. Obviously, Ayo DeSumo would have the nod defensively just due to his 6'4", long arm frames. He's just got a really solid body to, you know, disrupt opponents' guards, especially at the top of that key. He's a great point of attack defender at that guard spot. But Javon Freeman-Liberty, kind of the craftiness he has to his game, coming off a pick and roll, coming off a pin down screen. He can score in a multitude of ways, and he truly has been a 3-level scorer for the Bulls so far during the Summer League period. So I really believe if the Bulls were not to bring back Ayo DeSumo, Javon Freeman-Liberty could be a hell of a replacement. And honestly, it would save the Bulls a couple extra bucks as well. But I'll toss the question your guys' way. Do you think Javon Freeman-Liberty will make this team? I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. So YouTube, they're going to throw an ad break your way. Sit back, let it play, and give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no if you think Javon Freeman-Liberty will make this team. I think he does. I think this outside chance that he has, I think he's been kind of just inching his way up here after every single game. You know, game 1 came around. He was fantastic. Then he followed up with game 2 with another 20-point performance. And then in last night's victory over the Sacramento Kings, we got his best performance of all. And he has been just absolutely dominating. And he's been doing this ever since his college days. You know, I always have this joke on the channel right now that I like my point guards and I like my guards from Chicago. Well, Javon Freeman-Liberty, he grew up in Chicago, and then he also went and played at DePaul, a college in the city. But at DePaul, I mean, he was fantastic his senior year. I mean, averaging more than 20 a game, and then also the rebounding number on there is what sticks out to me so much. At that guard spot, for him to be able to average more than 7 boards a night, I think that's fantastic. And I think it speaks to the physicality he plays at that guard position and just how he's not afraid to get down there and mix it up in the paint. But a key note to make about the Javon Freeman-Liberty saga, kind of tying it into the Ayo DeSumo restricted free agent news. The Bulls are $3.36 million away from that tax line. And if they are thinking, let's let Ayo DeSumo walk and we'll just upgrade and promote Javon Freeman-Liberty to this active roster, the Bulls would stay below that tax line. And I think that's something ownership is seriously considering to do just because that would help them out a ton. We had the report early on in the offseason that, AK got the green light from ownership to go over into the luxury tax and kind of, not really be too concerned about how much in totality the Bulls are spending. Obviously, I think that was just a report, but this would save the Bulls a ton of extra money, and it would keep them below this tax line. Next, coming up on today's edition of the Bulls Report, we're going to be discussing a Zach LaVine. Yes, Zach LaVine, the trade rumors truly never die around him, but a trade to the Miami Heat. Bleacher Report suggested it, so I'll be giving you guys my full details and my reaction here in a second. But we got a great deal going on right now, and you guys need to take advantage of it. If you head to chatsports.com/Bulls combo, you can get this 2 t-shirt pack for a great deal. I actually just got both these myself. I love the white. I love the red. Just a super sleek look, and you guys can take advantage of this deal as well. Make sure you head to chatsports.com/Bulls combo. I'll put that link in the comment section and the description of today's show. So this was the Bleacher Report trade idea, and it would be a blockbuster NBA trade. It would be the Heat receiving NBA All-Star guard Zach LaVine. The Bulls would be also pairing him up with Dalen Terry in this trade package. And then the Bulls would be receiving a plethora of young talent. They'd be getting Tyler Herro, Duncan Robinson, and Nikola Jović from the Miami Heat. No picks involved, so I'll be kind of giving you guys my thoughts on that here in a second. But this was actually what Zach Buckley said about the Bulls' perspective on this trade, that he was the one that he came up with this. He said, meanwhile, Chicago could be wary of plateauing as a play-in team and see this trade as a way of raising its ceiling. This trade package is somewhat future-focused, but not in a way that would waste the remaining prime years of DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vučević. Herro is close to matching LaVine's production already. Robinson would scratch a huge itching for spacing. Jović rarely saw the floor as a rookie, but if he gets a chance, he could be an interesting change-of-pace reserve for his combination of size at 6'10", scoring, versatility, and playmaking. And I agree with Zach. Nikola Jović has been one of the more interesting prospects dating since last year's draft. Obviously, he didn't get a lot of tick with the Miami Heat this past season, just due to his overall size. The Heat had him, putting on weight throughout the season and really focusing in on his player development instead of his actual on-court production. But so far in the Summer League period and 4 games for the Heat, he's been kind of the highlight, and he has been a very bright spot on that Heat team. And if you ask Miami Heat fans, like my man Nick Roloff, he raves about this guy. Like, he talks about Nikola Jović as one of the highly touted young prospects in the NBA. I mean, at 15 a night, giving you 40% from the deck and 33% from deep, very solid numbers from the 19-year-old. That's why I do think Jović is an incredibly interesting prospect. I think we've seen the shift in the modern-day NBA where you want those big men that you have running your team to be a lot more versatile. We've seen it with Nikola Jokic. Funny enough, Jokic, they're incredible passers at that top of the key. And I think we're going to see a lot of more NBA teams kind of play that copycat mentality offensively. They're going to look at the Nuggets and be like, you know what, it helped them so much having a big who can pass and get their guards easy looks, whether it's cutting to the rim or kicking it out for a wide open 3. That's why a guy like Nikola Jović is so promising and such an interesting prospect. So overall, that part of the trade, the Bulls getting Nikola Jović, I'm a big fan of. But let's shift to the Bulls moving off a guy like Dalen Terry. Dalen Terry, he's struggled during the Summer League so far, especially from the efficiency standpoint. Like 26.2% from the deck and 28 from deep. By no means is that anywhere good or anywhere near solid for an NBA standard. But it's defensively that it still kind of has Bulls fans, optimistically hoping that he could turn into a solid 3-and-D player in the league. He does have 6 steals so far during Summer League, but it's the efficiency with him. And it's why it's been so concerning, because he was the 18th overall pick in last year's draft. And he hasn't really seen that development, especially on the offensive side of the game. I mean, the kid's 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan, so he's going to be able to defend at a high level in the NBA, but he still has that, need to develop truly an offensive game at an efficient level. But overall, with the trading of Zach LaVine narrative out there and all the trade rumors, if I were the Bulls, I would sit back and wait to trade Zach LaVine. At the NBA trade deadline, every single season, a team is going to get desperate. There is going to be a team that is on the verge of contending, and they're going to get desperate and throw you a haul for a guy like Zach LaVine. I mean, LaVine is one of the more productive guys over the past 4 seasons in the NBA. From an efficiency standpoint, he hasn't had a season where he shot less than 37.5% from downtown. LaVine, I don't want the Bulls to kind of just take the first offer they see and move off from him. I want them to be patient here, and let's see if we can win some games this upcoming season. And then if you're at the trade deadline and you're like, this isn't working, then you can ship him out of town, because I promise you a contending team would love to have Zach LaVine on their roster. But I'll toss this question your guys' way. If this was the trade and you were GM Mark Eversley and you saw this trade proposal get sent across your screen from the Miami Heat, would you accept this trade? Give me an A for accept or a D for decline of the Bulls receiving Tyler Herro, Duncan Robinson, and Nikola Jović, but they would be sending away Zach LaVine and Dalen Terry. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. We can wrap up today's show with focusing on the biggest piece that the Bulls would be receiving from this deal. It would be Tyler Herro, a true three-level scorer in the NBA. He can get it done from downtown. He can come off a pick and roll and get to that mid-range spot and rise up and drill a jump shot if the other team is running drop coverage. And he's also got sneaky slashing ability. You know, just due to his size at 6'6" frame, he's been able to get to the rim a lot better than people thought he would be able to coming out of college. And he's always been a really efficient player. I mean, not many guys at 23 years old can average 20-plus on 44% from deep and 37.5% from the three-point land. But I like Herro. But overall, if the Bulls were going to be moving off LaVine, I want draft picks. You know, the Bulls kind of got screwed in that Nikola Vučević trade, giving up 2 first-rounders for a guy who hasn't really panned out too well. And I like the young prospects. I like getting a guy like Tyler Herro. I like getting a guy like Nikola Jović. Even getting a shooter like Duncan Robinson would obviously help one of the Bulls' bigger needs, which is shooting the basketball. But if the Bulls were going to move off LaVine, get some draft picks involved. And like I said before, a team will get desperate. You will be able to get a combination of young players and draft picks in a trade. This Heat trade only really offers young players in it. So I would pass. It's a hell of a deal in terms of getting young talent in your organization, but I do think the Bulls need to get some draft capital as well if they were going to move off, obviously, Zach LaVine. As guys, remember to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be your one-stop shop for Bulls, news, rumors, whatever it may be. And if you made it this far in the video, clearly we are doing something you like here. So lock us in as your go-to Chicago Bulls YouTube channel. We'll see you guys next time. Go Bulls.